Kante stood alone on the bridge of the Harmony. Through the wide glass window, he could see the stars stretching out forever. Somewhere ahead, in the darkness of space, waited a world no human had ever seen. Today, that would change. The Harmony was Earth's first ship built for peace, not war. It carried no guns. It carried no missiles. It carried only hope. 43 people had volunteered for this mission. Scientists, doctors, translators, dreamers. All of them believed that humans and aliens could be friends. Tay believed it too. He had to believe it. "Sir, we are entering Vorath space," said Jin, the young communications officer. He was only 22 years old. His hand shook a little as he worked. "I am sending our peaceful message on all channels." Tay nodded. "Good. Let them know we mean no harm." Yuna walked up beside him. She was his second in command. A soldier, like him. She did not like this mission. She had told him many times that going without weapons was foolish. "They could kill us the moment we arrive," Yuna said quietly. "They could," Tay agreed. "But if we show up with weapons, they will think we came to fight. We need to show them trust first." Yuna did not look convinced, but she said nothing more. The Harmony moved through the darkness. Minutes passed, then hours. The crew waited. Nobody spoke much. The tension was thick enough to taste. Then, suddenly, light filled the window. Vora Prime appeared before them. It was beautiful. Silver cities covered its surface like jewels. Great ships floated around it, bigger than anything humans had ever built. Lights blinked from 1,000 orbital stations. Jin gasped. "It is incredible." Dr. Bora, the ship's scientist, leaned forward to look. Her eyes were wide with wonder. "Their technology is far beyond ours. Look at those structures. They must have been building in space for thousands of years." Tay felt a mix of fear and excitement. The Vorath were powerful. Very powerful. That made this mission even more important. A voice came through the speakers. It was deep and strange. The translator took a moment to process it. "Human vessel, you have entered Vorath space. State your purpose." Tay stepped forward. "This is Kangte of Earth. We have come in peace. We carry no weapons. We wish only to meet your people and talk." Silence. Long, heavy silence. Then the voice returned. "You will follow our ships to the capital. Do not make any sudden moves." 3 Vorath warships appeared around the Harmony. Each one was 10 times bigger than Tay's ship. Each one had weapons pointed directly at them. Yuna's hand moved to her hip, where a gun would normally be. But there was no gun. There was nothing. "Stay calm," Tay said to his crew. "This is normal. They are being careful. We would do the same." The Harmony followed the warships down to the planet. They landed in a massive city made of white stone and silver metal. The buildings reached so high that Tay could not see their tops. When the doors opened, Tay stepped out first. Hundreds of Vorath stood waiting. They were tall, nearly 8 feet. Their skin was pale gray. Their eyes were black and cold. They moved with the confidence of a species that had never known fear. A figure stepped forward. He wore robes of gold and red. His voice was the same one from the speakers. "I am High Vorn Malak, ruler of the Vorath Empire. You are the first humans to walk on our world." Tay bowed his head in respect. "Thank you for receiving us. We bring gifts from Earth." He waved his hand and his crew brought forward the offerings. Seeds from Earth's forests. Recordings of human music and art. Books filled with human history and knowledge. Simple things. Honest things. Malak looked at the gifts. His face showed no emotion. "Interesting. Your species is young. Your world is small. Yet you traveled so far just to talk. We believe that all intelligent life should work together. Tay said. "We want to learn from you. We want to share what we know. We want peace." Malak studied him for a long moment. Then he nodded slowly. "We will talk." For 3 days, things went well. Tay met with Varth leaders. He answered their questions about Earth. He listened to their history. He ate their food, which tasted strange, but not bad. He began to believe that this mission would succeed. On the 4th day, everything changed. Tay noticed that some of the Varth looked at him with cold hatred. One of them was Commander Riva, the leader of the Varth military. Riva never smiled. He watched Tay like a predator watching prey. That night, there was a grand dinner. All of Tay's crew attended. They sat at a long table covered with strange foods. Malak gave a speech about cooperation. Then the doors burst open. Soldiers poured into the room. Hundreds of them. They surrounded the humans with weapons raised. Tay stood up slowly. "What is this?" Commander Reva stepped forward. His lips curled into a cruel smile. "This is the end of your mission, human. Your kind is a disease. You spread and consume. We will not let you infect the galaxy. We came in peace." Tay shouted. "We have no weapons. We are not your enemy." Reva laughed. It was a cold, empty sound. "That is exactly why this is so easy." He raised his hand. Jin, the young communications officer, ran to a console. His fingers flew across the buttons. He was trying to send a message to Earth. "Tell him what happened here." Yuna screamed at him. "Tell them the truth." The first shots were fired. Tay watched his people fall. Scientists, doctors, dreamers. They died with confusion on their faces. They died still believing in peace. He felt bullets hit his chest. 1, 2, 3. More than he could count. His body hit the floor. Blood pooled beneath him. The last thing he saw was Riva standing over him. "Foolish human," Riva said. "You should have brought weapons." Then there was only darkness. Kang Tay should have been dead. 7 bullets had torn through his body. His ship had been destroyed. His crew had been murdered. The cold vacuum of space had claimed what remained. But death did not want him. Not yet. His body floated through the debris field for 31 hours. Pieces of the harmony drifted around him like broken dreams. The bodies of his friends tumbled silently in the darkness. Jin, Dr. Bora, so many others. All gone. Tay's emergency suit kept him alive. Barely. His heartbeat slowed to almost nothing. His blood ran cold. But a small light still blinked on his chest. A signal. A cry for help that nobody should have heard. A Malari trading ship found him. The Malari were merchants. They belonged to no empire. They cared about one thing only, profit. But they were not cruel. When their scanners detected a faint life sign among the wreckage, they stopped to investigate. They pulled Tay's frozen body from the void. They laid him on a medical table. The lead doctor, a thin creature with 4 arms, looked at the damage and shook his head. "This human is more dead than alive," the doctor said. "Saving him will cost more than he is worth." The captain of the ship, an old Malari named Garan, studied Tay's face. He saw the scars of battle. He saw a soldier's strength. "Fix him," Garan said. "He can pay us back later." It took 6 months to rebuild Kang Tay. His left lung was replaced with a machine. His heart was reinforced with metal. His left eye, destroyed by a bullet, became a glowing red lens that could see in the dark. His bones were strengthened with synthetic materials. His muscles were enhanced to be faster and stronger than before. When Tay woke up for the first time, he did not know where he was. He did not know what had happened. Then the memories came flooding back. The dinner. The soldiers. The screaming. The blood. He screamed. The Malari doctors held him down. Calm yourself, human. You are safe here. My crew, Tay gasped. My people. Are they? The doctors said nothing. Their silence was answer enough. Tay lay back on the bed. He stared at the ceiling. Something inside him had broken. Something else had taken its place. He did not cry. He had no tears left. Only cold, hard anger. Garan came to visit him when he was stronger. The old merchant sat beside his bed and told him the truth. The Varath sent a message to every corner of the galaxy, Garan said. They claim that your people tried to kill their leader. They say humans are dangerous. They have declared Earth a hostile species. Tay clenched his fists. That is a lie. I know, Garan said simply. We found your wreckage. We saw your ship had no weapons. But the Varath are powerful. Nobody will challenge their story. What about Earth? What have they done? Garan sighed. Nothing. They received a message from one of your crew before the attack. A broken transmission. They know the truth. But Earth is weak. They have no fleet strong enough to fight the Varath. They have chosen silence. Tay understood. He did not blame his people. They were doing what they had to do to survive. But he could not accept it. He could not let the lie stand. He could not let his crew be forgotten. I have to pay you back, Tay said. For saving me. For the surgery. How much do I owe? The Ron named a number. It was more money than Tay had ever seen in his life. I will work for it, Tay said. And so began his new life. Tay fought in underground arenas on lawless space stations. He used his enhanced body to defeat creatures twice his size. He took mercenary contracts, protecting ships from pirates. He learned to speak new languages. He learned the secrets of the galaxy's criminal. Underworld. He was no longer the peaceful diplomat who had stepped off the Harmony with gifts in his hands. That man had died in a massacre. What remained was something harder, something darker. But Tay never lost control. He never killed innocents. He never forgot who he truly was. The anger inside him was cold, not hot. It was patient. It could wait. For 2 years, he worked. He listened. He learned. He discovered that Commander Riva had been promoted for his actions. The Varath called him a hero, a defender of the Empire. His face was on posters across Varath space. He learned that Earth was afraid. The United Council had hidden the truth from the public. They told their people that the Harmony was lost in an accident. They hoped that one day, diplomacy might still be possible. He found out that some of his crew had survived. Yuna, his second in command, had been captured. She was held in a prison colony on the edge of Varath space. Others might still be alive too. And he met Elder Solon. Solon was a Varath, but he was different. He was old and wise. He had spoken against the attack on the Harmony. He had called it murder. For this, he had been stripped of his rank and exiled. Solon found Tay in a dirty bar on a forgotten moon. He sat down across from him and looked into his glowing red eye. You are the survivor, Solon said. The one they thought they killed. Yes, Tay replied. What do you want? Tay was quiet for a long moment. I want justice. I want the truth to be known. I want my people to be safe. Solon nodded slowly. Then, we want the same thing. The Varath Empire has become sick. Leaders like Riva have poisoned it. They see enemies everywhere. They destroy instead of build. They must be stopped. Will you help me? Tay asked. Yes, Solon said. But you must understand something. This path will be long. It will be hard. You may lose more than you have already lost. Tay thought of Jin, falling with a bullet in his chest. He thought of Dr. Bora, reaching out for help that never came. He thought of 43 people who had trusted him to lead them to peace. I have already lost everything, Tay said. I have nothing left to fear. That night, he sent a message to Earth. It was short and encrypted. Only one person would understand it. Captain Han Day, his oldest friend. The man who now commanded Earth's small defense fleet. The message said, I am alive. Prepare for what comes next. Far away, on a ship orbiting Earth, Han Day read those words. His hands trembled. His eyes filled with tears. You crazy fool, he whispered. You actually survived. Then he began to prepare. 2 years passed. In that time, Kang Tae built something from nothing. He started with whispers. Stories told in dark corners of space stations. Tales of a human who should have died but refused to stay dead. A ghost with a red eye who was gathering an army. The first to join him were the broken ones. Species the Vorath had conquered. Refugees whose worlds had been burned. Soldiers who had lost everything. They came to Tae because they had nowhere else to go. He gave them purpose. We are not terrorists, Tae told them during their first meeting. They gathered in an abandoned mining station far from any patrol routes. 50 fighters from a dozen different species. All of them angry. All of them hungry for revenge. We are not murderers. We will not become the monsters they say we are. Then what are we? Asked a scarred warrior from a species called the Keth. His people had been enslaved by the Vorath for generations. We are the returned, Tae said. We return for those who were lost. We return the truth to those who have been lied to. And we return fear to those who thought they had none. Elder Solon helped him build a network of spies. The old Vorath knew which officers were corrupt. He knew which commanders secretly hated Malak and Riva. He fed information to Tae, like water to a dying plant. The Malari traders became their supply line. Darren, the captain who had saved Tae's life, saw opportunity in rebellion. He smuggled weapons, medicine, and food to the returned. His ships moved through Vorath space without suspicion. Slowly, the army grew. 100 fighters. Then 200. Then 500. But Tae was not ready. Not yet. He needed something more. He needed YUNA. The prison colony was called Vex Station. It orbited a dead planet at the edge of Vorath territory. The most dangerous political prisoners were kept there. Escape was considered impossible. The station was surrounded by patrol ships. The guards were elite soldiers. The cells were designed to break the spirit. Yuna had been there for over 2 years. Tae spent 3 months planning the raid. He studied every patrol pattern. He learned every guard rotation. He found a Vorath prisoner who had been released and paid him to draw maps of the interior. When the night came, Tae led 30 of his best fighters to Vex Station. They attacked at the shift change when the guards were tired and distracted. Tae moved through the corridors like a shadow. His enhanced eye could see in the darkness. His strengthened body was faster than any normal human. Guards fell before they could raise an alarm. Doors were blown open. Prisoners shouted in confusion. Tae found Yuna's cell on the lowest level. She was thinner than he remembered. Her hair was cut short. Scars marked her face and arms. But her eyes still held the same fire. When the cell door opened, she looked up. She saw a figure silhouetted in the light. Half man, half machine. A glowing red eye where a human eye should be. Who are you? She demanded. Tae stepped forward. Have you forgotten me already? Yuna's breath caught in her throat. Her hands began to shake. Tae, but you died. They killed you. I watched you fall. They tried, Tae said. He reached out his hand. I came back. Yuna took his hand. When she stood up, her legs almost gave out. Tae caught her. For a moment, she held on to him and wept. I thought I was alone, she whispered. I thought I was the last one. You are not alone. You will never be alone again. They escaped Vex Station with 47 freed prisoners. Many of them joined the return that very night. Yuna became Tay's second in command once more. Her time in prison had changed her. The softness was gone. In its place was steel. She trained their soldiers. She planned their attacks. She never smiled anymore, but she never gave up. Dr. Bora was alive too. She had hidden in a storage compartment during a massacre. The Vorath had found her and kept her as a research subject. They wanted to study human biology. When Tay's forces raided a research facility 6 months later, they found her strapped to a table. She was damaged. Her mind wandered sometimes, but her knowledge was still sharp. She told them everything she had learned about Vorath physiology, their weaknesses, their fears. They are afraid of persistence, Bora explained. They have never faced a species that keeps fighting no matter what. They expect their enemies to give up. When they do not, the Vorath do not know what to do. Captain Hyundai arrived with a small fleet from Earth. Officially, Earth had not sent them. The United Council had publicly condemned Tay's actions. They called him a terrorist, a criminal, a danger to the peace they were still hoping to achieve. But Hyundai carried a private message from Earth's leaders. He delivered it to Tay in person. They cannot support you openly, Hyundai said. If they do, the Vorath will attack Earth directly. We are not strong enough to survive that. But they sent me with these ships and these soldiers. Use them however you need. Bring our people justice. Tay read the message. He burned it. Then he embraced his old friend. Thank you for coming, Tay said. You saved my life twice during the war on Earth, Hyundai replied. Did you think I would let you fight alone? By the end of the second year, the return had grown into a real force. 12 warships, most of them stolen or salvaged. 3,000 fighters from 20 different species. Support networks across 100 systems. They were still outnumbered. The Vorath had thousands of ships, millions of soldiers, technology that humans could barely understand. But Tay had something the Vorath did not expect. He had the truth, and he was ready to show it to the galaxy. Yuna stood beside him on the bridge of their flagship, a captured Vorath cruiser they had renamed the Justice. Outside the window, their small fleet waited in formation. Are we ready? Yuna asked. Tay looked at the stars. Somewhere out there was Vora Prime. Somewhere out there was Commander Reva. Somewhere out there was the truth, waiting to be set free. We're ready, he said. Let it begin. The return struck like lightning from a clear sky. Their first target was Thurin Station. It was the largest military outpost in the outer territories of the Vorath Empire. More importantly, it was where Commander Reva had planned the massacre of the Harmony. Every order, every cruel detail, had been decided within its walls. Tay wanted to start there. He wanted Reva to know that justice was coming. The attack began at midnight, station time. The Vorath guards were not prepared. They had grown comfortable. Nobody had dared attack a military station in decades. The Vorath Empire was too powerful, too feared. That changed tonight. The Justice dropped out of faster-than-light travel directly above the station. Before the Vorath could react, smaller ships launched from its belly. They carried the best fighters the return had. Humans, Keth warriors, Malari mercenaries. All of them trained for this moment. Tay led the assault team personally. They breached the station through the cargo bay. Alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. Vorath soldiers rushed to meet them, but they were too slow. Tay moved through the corridors with cold efficiency. His enhanced body made him faster than any normal human. His red eye tracked every movement in the darkness. His gun never missed, but he did not kill needlessly. When Vorath soldiers surrendered, he let them live. When civilians fled, he let them go. He was not here for slaughter. He was here for one man. Yuna commanded the second team. She took the communication center. Her soldiers secured the broadcasting equipment. This was the most important part of the plan. Communication secure? Her voice crackled through Tay's earpiece. Ready when you are. Hold position, Tay replied. I am almost there. The command center was at the heart of the station. Heavy doors protected it. Elite guards stood watch. They opened fire when they saw Tay approaching. He did not slow down. Bullets sparked against his armor. One grazed his cheek, drawing blood. He kept moving. He reached the first guard and broke his arm with a single strike. The second guard fell to a shot from Tay's pistol. The third tried to run. Tay caught him and threw him into the wall. The heavy doors would not open. Tay placed an explosive charge on them. The blast tore them apart like paper. Commander Riva stood inside. He was older now. 3 years had passed since the massacre. Gray streaked his hair. Lines marked his face. But his eyes were the same, cold, arrogant, cruel. A weapon sat on the desk beside him. Riva reached for it. Tay was faster. He crossed the room in 2 steps. His hand closed around Riva's wrist. He squeezed until bones cracked. Riva screamed and dropped the weapon. Tay forced him to his knees. Do you remember me? Tay asked. Riva looked up. Recognition dawned in his eyes. Then fear. You are dead. I killed you myself. I watched you fall. I watched you. You tried to kill me, Tay said. You failed. This is impossible. No human could survive what you survived. Tay leaned close. His red eye glowed in the dim light. I am not just any human. I am the one you created. Every scar on my body. Every piece of metal in my bones. Every night I spend dreaming of this moment. You made me. Now you will face what you made. Riva tried to stand. Tay pushed him back down. I came to your world with open hands, Tay said. His voice was low and hard. I brought gifts. I spoke of peace. I asked for nothing but friendship. And you answered with murder. Your species is dangerous, Riva spat. You breed like insects. You adapt to anything. Given time, you would have spread across the galaxy like a plague. We did what was necessary to protect our empire. Necessary. The word tasted like poison in Tay's mouth. You killed 43 unarmed people, scientists, doctors, a boy who was only 22 years old. You called it necessary. He grabbed Riva by the collar and pulled him up. I could kill you right now. I want to kill you. I have thought about it every single day for 3 years. Riva's face went pale. But I will not, Tay said. Because I'm not like you. He activated his communicator. Una, begin the broadcast. Across the station, across the empire, across the entire galaxy, screens flickered to life. Every ship, every planet, every home with a receiver saw the same thing. Commander Riva on his knees, and a scarred human standing over him. People of the Vorath Empire, Tay said into the camera. People of every world. My name is Tay. I was the leader of the human delegation that came to Vara Prime 3 years ago. We came in peace. We carried no weapons. We wanted only friendship. He held up a data chip. This contains the records from that day. Video recordings. Communication logs. Orders signed by Commander Riva himself. They prove that the Vorath attacked us without cause. They prove that the story your leaders told you was a lie. He activated the chip. The screen showed everything. The dinner. The soldiers bursting in. The unarmed humans being shot. Jin trying to send a message. The crew of the Harmony falling one by one. The galaxy watched in silence. Tay turned back to Riva. Tell them the truth. Riva's jaw tightened. I will tell them nothing. Tay nodded slowly. He had expected this. Then let the evidence speak for itself. He turned back to the camera. I do not ask you to hate the Vorath. I do not ask you to join a war. I ask only that you see the truth. Decide for yourselves who the real enemy is. The broadcast ended. Within hours, chaos erupted across the Vorath Empire. Citizens demanded answers. Elder Solin's faction, which had always opposed the attack, grew stronger. Highvorn Malak tried to dismiss the evidence as fake, but too many people believed it. The return did not stop. They struck military targets across Vorath space. Weapons factories, supply depots, patrol stations. Each attack was surgical. No civilians were harmed. The message was clear. This was not terrorism. This was justice. Riva was sent to stand trial before a coalition of neutral species. The evidence against him was overwhelming. He was found guilty of ordering the murder of unarmed diplomats. His sentence was life in prison, but the war was not over. Highvorn Malak still held power. The Vorath military was still the strongest force in the galaxy, and they were angry. Malak sent a message to Tay. It was simple. You have made yourself an enemy of the Empire. We will destroy you, your people, and your entire species. There will be nowhere in the galaxy you can hide. Tay read the message. He did not feel fear. He felt only tired sadness. He still does not understand, Tay said to Yuna. Understand what? Tay looked out at the stars. That we were never hiding. Highvorn Malak assembled the largest fleet the Vorath had ever built. 1,000 warships, hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Enough firepower to burn a planet to Ashdod. He would crush this human rebellion once and for all. He would make an example of Kang Tay. He would show the galaxy what happened to those who challenged the Vorath Empire. The fleet gathered above Vora Prime. It was a display of overwhelming power. Nothing could stand against such force. Tay knew this. He had always known. The Returned had 12 ships, maybe 4,000 fighters at most. They had won battles through speed and surprise, but they could not win a war. Not like this. He wants us to attack, Yuna said. They stood together on the bridge of the Justice. Through the window, they could see the distant stars. Somewhere out there, the Vorath fleet waited. He wants us to throw ourselves against his wall of ships. To die gloriously and prove that we were fools. Yes, Tay agreed. Then what do we do? Tay was quiet for a long moment. He thought about the journey that had brought him here. The peace mission. The massacre. The long years of pain and rebuilding. The friends he had lost. The things he had done. He thought about Jin, who had died trying to send a message to Earth. He thought about what Jin would have wanted. We end this, Tay said. But not the way Malak expects. The Return jumped to Vora Prime. When they appeared in the Vorath home system, alarms screamed across 1,000 ships. Weapons powered up. Shields activated. The Vorath fleet moved into battle formation, ready to destroy the small rebel force. They outnumbered the Returned 100 to 1. Malak watched from his command ship. A smile crossed his face. The human has come to die. Let him see the full might of Vorath power before the end. But Tay did not attack. Instead, he began to broadcast. Every ship in the fleet, every screen on the planet, every receiver in the system heard his voice. I am Kang Tay of Earth. Malak frowned. What is this? 3 years ago, I came to this world with an offer of peace. I came with no weapons. I came with no threats. I carried only gifts and hope. I asked for nothing but the chance to know your people. Across the fleet, Vorath soldiers listened. Many of them had seen the broadcasts from Theron Station. They knew the truth about what had happened to the Harmony. They knew what their leaders had done. You shot me, Tay continued. You killed my friends. You called humanity a plague and tried to wipe us from the stars. His voice grew stronger. Not angry, sad. I could have done the same to you. In these past 3 years, I have walked through your cities. I have stood in your homes. I have had your leaders at my mercy. I could have burned your worlds as you tried to burn mine. On the command ship, Malak's smile faded. Destroy him. Now. His officers hesitated. I did not, Tay said. Because humans are not what you believed us to be. He looked directly into the camera. His red eye gleamed. His scarred face showed no hatred, only weary determination. We are not conquerors. We do not want your territory. We are not destroyers. We do not want your deaths. We are survivors. We adapt to anything. We endure any hardship. And we remember everything. Fire. Malak screamed. Fire now. But the fleet did not fire. Elder Solon had been busy during these long months. He had talked to captains. He had spoken to admirals. He had spread doubt like seeds in fertile soil. Not all of the Varth fleet was loyal to Malak. Not anymore. This war ends today, Tay said. Not because you have defeated us. Not because we have defeated you. It ends because I choose to end it. We choose mercy, even when none was shown to us. Ships began to break formation. Captains who had lost faith in Malak lowered their weapons. Some turned their vessels around, refusing to fight. Malak watched his fleet fall apart. His face twisted with rage. Cowards, traitors! I am your highborn. You will obey me. No one obeyed. But know this, Tay said, his voice filling the silence. If you ever come for Earth again, we will not come with open hands. We will come with fury. And we will not stop until the stars themselves remember our names. He let those words hang in the air. I have said what I came to say. The choice is now yours. The broadcast ended. For a long moment, nothing happened. The two fleets faced each other across the void. One vast and mighty. One small and scarred. Neither moved. Then Elder Solon's ship broke from the Varth formation. It flew toward the Justice and stopped beside it. Solon's voice came through the communications channel. Malak no longer speaks for the Varth. He has been removed from power. I am calling for a ceasefire. More ships joined him. Then more. The fleet that had come to destroy the returned instead surrounded Malak's command vessel. Malak tried to escape. His ship was caught in a tractor beam. It was over. The ceasefire became a peace treaty. It took months to negotiate. There were arguments. Old wounds did not heal easily. Trust had to be rebuilt from nothing. But it held. Earth was no longer declared hostile. Human ships could travel through Varth space. Trade began. Cultural exchange followed. Slowly, carefully, the two species began to learn about each other. Malak was tried for his crimes. He joined Reva in prison. They would spend the rest of their lives paying for what they had done. Kangte returned to Earth. He did not feel like a hero. He felt tired. He felt old. The metal in his body ached when it rained. His red eye sometimes glitched, showing him ghosts from his memories. He visited the memorial that had been built for the crew of the Harmony. It was a simple wall of white stone in a quiet garden. 43 names were carved into it. He found Jin's name and placed his hand on the cold stone. I did it, he whispered. I told them the truth. I brought them justice. I kept my promise. The wind blew through the garden. It sounded almost like a voice. Almost like Jin saying thank you. Yuna found him there. She had been with him through everything. The prison. The battles. The long nights of planning. She was the only one who truly understood. What now? She asked. Tay looked up at the sky. The sun was setting. Stars were beginning to appear. Now we rebuild, he said. We learn from our mistakes. We do better. We make sure this never happens again." Una stood beside him. After a moment, she took his hand. "You came in peace," she said. "They shot you. You returned with fury. And then you chose mercy. Not many could have done that." Tay shook his head. "I did not do it alone. None of this would have been possible without the people who believed in me. Jin, Dr. Bora, Hande, you, even Solon, everyone who fought, everyone who died. It was never just me." He turned away from the memorial. The names of the dead would stay with him forever. But he could not live in the past. There was too much work to do. "The Vorath called us a plague," Tay said. "They called us dangerous. Maybe they were right. Humans are dangerous. We are persistent. We never give up. We fight until we win or die." He looked at Una. A small smile crossed his lips. The first real smile in 3 years. "But we are also capable of something the Vorath did not expect. Something that scared them more than our fury." "What is that?" "Forgiveness." They walked out of the garden together. Behind them, the names of the dead kept their silent watch. Above them, the stars burned with ancient light. The war was over. The truth was known. The fallen had been honored. And humanity had shown the galaxy who they truly were. Not conquerors. Not destroyers. Survivors. Dreamers. And when necessary, the fury that even empires learned to fear.